Excuse me. Do you know a man named Brian Westhouse?
Westhouse? That old goat? Yes, unfortunately. What would you with him?
I need to find him.
I do not know where he lives. I hear somewhere on the outskirts of the city by the sea, but I cannot tell you any more than that.
Who'd know about Westhouse?
His whereabouts? I do not understand what you would with him. He is rude, uncultured, and ignorant.
Cortez told me to look him up.
Well, I do not know where he lives or frequents, but someone at the market may. He is there, and I think he collects maps of the Northlands.
What do you know about Cortez?
Your mentor? What has he told you about himself?
Not much. Nothing, in fact. He's a complete mystery to me.
To learn something about someone, the best way to go about it is to ask them yourself. There is nothing I can do to enlighten you.
But who is he?
He is who he is, what he is. If he has not told you himself, then perhaps he does not wish you to know. It would be improper for me to divulge his secrets.
You're as bad as he is. No offense. It's just frustrating.
I understand. The next time you see him, tell him what you have told me. Maybe he will tell you the truth, maybe he will not. It is his choice to make.
Do you mind if I ask you some questions about Arcadia?
I will try my best to answer any question you may have, April.
What's Marcuria like?
I have lived in this city all my life, and still it amazes me what a diverse, exciting, and wonderful place it is. Many have called Marcuria the jewel of the Northlands, and they are right. But it is a diamond in the rough. A city this size can never be flawless. There are always shadows, and people who hide in them. Lately, the shadows have grown and darkened, and I fear for the future. But Marcuria is still a wonderful place to live.
What are the Northlands?
The Northlands is a collective term for all the lands north of the Great Sea, and south of the border mountains, including Ireed, Tyran, and Khorasan. Before, however, the word Northlands was used to describe this entire continent, including the territories north of the mountains and the icy wastes beyond that. Some still prefer the latter interpretation of the name. And to the people of the Southlands, anyone hailing from north of the Great Sea is a Northlander regardless.
Tell me a little about Ireed.
Ireed means both unification and assembly in High Tongue, and many still call Ireed the unified country, even though it is an age and a half since the lands of the north joined together in alliance. Ireed stretches from the plains of Nedra in the north to the Great Sea in the south, and from the territories of Tyran in the west to the thick woodlands in the east. It is populated by humans and Dolmare, Tyran, and a number of other races. It is even said that a tribe of Venar have a ring of trees in Riverwood, though I am not sure that is anything but a myth.
Thanks for the information.
I'm glad I could assist you.
I'll see you later.
You will? If you say so, then it must be true.
sorry-looking bird.
Hey, you don't look too polished yourself, lady.
Oops, I didn't know you could talk.
Didn't look as if you could talk either.
It's a talking bird. My intuition tells me
Maps!
that he sells maps.
Maps, I got maps. Can I interest you in a map, miss? Top-notch, hand-drawn in quality ink by skilled sunwriters. Ain't no better in all the Northlands.
I'm looking for Brian Westhouse.
Briar west of house? It's not on any of my maps, and I've never heard of it. Maps!
It's a man, not a place, Mr. Brian Westhouse.
I would most certainly remember a name as queer as that, and I don't. Get your maps while they're fresh.
Mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Yes, maps?
Do you know Vestrum Tobias?
Everyone knows Vestrum Tobias, girl. He's been an important part of this city for as long as I can remember.
What can you tell me about him?
The Vestrum is an honorable man, but a conservative one, and I don't know if he still has the best interests of the people at heart. Sometimes I think he worries too much about custom. The Sentinel have been our so-called protectors and keepers of the balance for so long we don't even think of it anymore. But now that the Vanguard are introducing a new way of thinking, new philosophies, I'm afraid the Sentinel will find their power diminished before too long. Their resistance to change will be their downfall. Mark my words, their downfall for certain. And Tobias, honorable man that he is, will be remembered as the captain who went down with his ship.
What do you know about Stark?
Land of wonders, strange customs, and machinery. Ah, to be in Stark. I'd give my right leg. Well, perhaps not my right leg as such. You really need two sturdy legs to stand on in this business, or you'll find yourself... yes, a grand place indeed, free of this blasted, chaotic, unpredictable magic. Does no good to anyone. Now, machines built by man, controlled by man, in servitude of man. That's the future, isn't it? Yes, the Vanguard may be a little unorthodox in their methods and teachings, but they're right about one thing. Stark and Arcadia belong together, not apart.
What's Arcadia like?
What can I say about a whole world, girl? It's a beautiful place for sure, but we're stuck in the past. We don't look ahead, not like our cousins in Stark. Magic is all well and good, but it won't bring our world into the modern age, and Arcadia is untamed. It's wild and unpredictable. Good for the map business, sure, but not so good for productivity and expansion. No, some people may consider our world a paradise. The Sentinel, for one, they'd prefer to keep it just the way it is. Me, I'd like to see some changes, and fast.
How do you get along with your neighbors?
The Cup's handler? Stay away from him, miss. He takes great joy in robbing people's purses. You can't beat him, not without magic, and he doesn't allow magic at his table.
How would he know if I did use magic?
Oh, he's got one of those blasted talismans. They're always digging up magical artifacts in Chagagriel, and they sell them to dogs like him for a silver coin or two. Get a proper job, you son of a mole!
Thanks for your help.
Maps!
Do you sell maps of the city?
Can't help you there, miss. The Guild of Tourism has monopoly on city maps. I can tell you're not from around here, or you'd know that. Got tons of maps of all the Northlands, though, from the city of Tyron to the Bay of Fire. Maps!
Where can I find the Guild of Tourism?
They're closed for the holidays.
Sure, that makes sense. How much are your maps?
That depends, miss. I got a very nice one here of the border mountains for only 6 herons, fresh from the quill of a sunrider. Maps, get your maps here.
No maps for me today, thanks.
Fair enough, miss, but don't expect me to come running to your aid if you ever get lost in Riverwood. Without my maps, you'll probably end up a mole's dinner or worse. Maps!
It's the maps merchant.
Maps!
Mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Yes, maps!
Thanks for your help.
Maps!
Bye.
Maps! Get your fresh maps here. Buy 2, get the second one half price.
In a world without the screen, that's what passes for entertainment. And it's pretty darn good. The whole fountain's been carved in one piece from a granite-like material. Very impressive. This guy's selling musical instruments. Most of these I don't even recognize. But he's got a drum in there and what looks like half a guitar and a couple of dried rabbit carcasses. Ugh! This guy's selling lobsters, crabs, eels, and... What the hell is that purple thing? That is so not appetizing. Judging by his ungainly stance, I'd say he's a mariner pining for the sea. Ahoy there, matey!
Pardon?
Isn't that how you sailors greet each other?
No.
What do you say then?
Usually, hello. And if it's sunny, nice day for it. We might even try a "How are you today" then, if we're feeling adventurous. But never, ever, ahoy.
This is valuable information.
Aye, matey, that it be.
Why aren't you out at sea?
Do you see the sail on that barge over there?
Yes?
Is it flapping?
What?
Is it flapping? Is the sail flapping in the wind?
No.
And why is that then?
Because it's not windy?
Exactly.
Well, can't you just use oars or something?
Oh, what an excellent idea. Now, why didn't we think of that? Of course. Oars! By Jaw's stunted left arm, that's it. Why have we been moored to the dock for a month with our merchandise dropping in value when we could have just rowed our way to Guienne?
Are you being sarcastic?
Sarcastic? Me? What in Jaw's name makes you think that?
How long's it been since the last wind?
Near a month. Ever since that accursed alchemist put some kind of spell on the wind. The Mojal be cursed if I know why. But it's a bloody catastrophe. I've sent some good people of mine up north to deal with him. But not one has returned. Now the Areed High Council speak of sending an entire army platoon to sort him out. But I'm afraid that just might piss him off.
Who's this alchemist who cast a spell on the wind?
I believe his name is Clax. Roper Clax. Lives in a bloody rock somewhere up north, beyond Riverwood.
Thanks for the chat.
Aye.
Hello, old man.
I got me no treasure, and I got me no map of no buried treasure. I just be an old sailor with no ship, so leave us be.
What are you doing?
Mending nets, of course. What it look like I be doing?
I'm not well versed in maritime customs.
Mar what? Ah, yous mean sea life, dear not. Ah, the smell of the salty sea, the lapping of waves on your ship, the spray of cold water on your face, plump maidens in every part. Aye, I tell yous, I be having stories about the sea.
What have you got in that chest?
What chest?
The one you're sitting on.
Oh, that be no chest, girl. That be me stool. Aye, me stool, carved into the uncanny likeness of a chest.
But what's in it?
No priceless treasure, that be for sure. Nothing at all. It be empty.
No, really. What's in the chest?
Oh, live snakes. Aye, snakes that'll bite your face off before yous have time to jump. Better leave them be, then.
I'm still curious about that chest.
Right. I be telling yous. Curse the balance, girl. You never give up, do you? I be having no real treasure in here, like I told ye. But it be where I keep me personal articles and things I be picking up now and then on me travels. And me bed, it's where I be keeping me bed before I be losing him. I be a stupid old man. He be my best friend. I ain't nobody else around to talk to, you see, on account of him being a talking bird.
What happened to your talking bird?
I be cheated out of him. Aye, that cups handler on the marketplace be cheating me in a full game of cups, and I be having to give me bird up to try to win me money back.
And what happened?
He be taking me bird when I be choosing the wrong cup. Aye, my best friend taken from me. Cursed be the balance. I be all lonesome now. The worst part is that me bird is now a prize to be won. A prize in a cups game. Beat the handler thrice and you win a prize of your choice, me poor bird.
What's your bird's name?
Bird.
Oh. Care to share some of your maritime stories with me?
Matter what? Ah, tales of the sea, right? Sure, sweetie, I'd be happy to. Now, what stories be I wanted to hear then?
Any tale of your exciting adventures will do.
Aye, I be having plenty of tales to tell. There be the tale of me adventures in the Baksheevan Empire, if you'd be interested. It'd be a tale of grand romance, just up your alley, be sure of it.
Sure, that sounds like a fine story.
Aye, it be near on 50 years ago that I was a mate on a sturdy old lady called the Three-Legged Whore.
The what?
What do I be saying? She was called the Thrifty Horse, she was. Aye, that be her name. The Whittle Whatsit.
You don't remember the ship's name, do you?
Anyways, I be a young mate then, and we be anchored in Monterva, the grand western port of the once glorious Baksheevan Empire. I be having ship leave until the following evening, and it be me first visit to that exotic and dangerous port. So I sets out to have a look around. Now, bear in mind that Monterba be ruled by a mock, like all large Baksheevan cities. In principle, the mock be having to report to and pay half of all taxes to the emperor in Port Altaban. But with the Baksheevan Empire having all but crumbled into pieces, the provinces do be having the power to do pretty much as they be wanting. And so I sets out on me own that day to explore the city. Now, bear in mind that all the cities of the Southlands, and that be me adventures in the once glorious empire of Bakshiva. And that be how I meet me bird, how I seduce and the romance the mock's daughter, how I be chased from Monterba by the mock's soldiers, and how I be the first man to walk across the desert of Shangagriel, the wastelands, and how I be getting this awful rash on. Girl, you do not be sleeping, do you?
What? What? Sleeping? No. Just concentrating really hard. Good story, though. Solid material. Ever considered doing a book?
Aye, but the agents in Marijukuria be bloodthirsty vampires with no thought but to milk your life's blood.
Oh, so they take an outrageous commission, then?
No, they actually be bloodthirsty vampires with a penchant for biting your neck when you ain't be looking.
Huh. I'd better get going.
Yous young'uns be always running round. Everything be so important. Yous be having no time to sit down and take a breath. So go. Be not wasting your time here with me.
talking bird. That's a particularly sleazy-looking merchant. I wonder what he's selling.
Want to test your skill and perception with a game of cups? There are prizes to be won!
Mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Time is money, so make it quick.
What do you know about Vestrum Tobias?
Vestron Tobias, eh? The High Priest of the Sentinel himself. Did you know they call themselves the Fathers? What a joke. When was the last time they did anything for us, the people? No. They are only interested in sticking with their outdated customs and keeping their secrets under lock. I'm getting more and more inclined to listen to these new people, the Vanguard. Their ideas appeal to me. They may be radical, but we're past due for a change. Only thing I don't wholly approve of is their alliance with the Tyrant. Filthy, dangerous people. But the Vanguard seem to have them under control, so I'm not too worried. I wish they wouldn't allow them into the city, though.
Do you know anything about Stark?
Not much. I'm not too sure if I even believe in the place. I mean, you hear the stories and you read the books. Well, I don't, but some do. A place where there's no magic, only science? Sounds like a bloody paradise, doesn't it? I mean, with my, skills, I could make a killing in a place like that.
What's Arcadia like?
What a queer question that is. What's the world like? It's big, for one, and too expensive. And they should ban Dalmari women from gambling because I swear, they have a second sight.
How do you get along with your neighbor?
The maps merchant? We've faced each other for 6 years now, every single day, and he never speaks a word to me except to insult me. Nose high in the sky, calls me a charlatan, as if he's the guardian himself. You know, good oversized bag of wind?
Thanks.
Now, how about a game of cups?
Sorry, but I'm broke.
May the balance bring coin to your pocket, young lady, so that you may return to me and invest it in a game of cups.